Hi folks, Steven Sapini here with our special guest, the man known as the Innovator, Steve
Shapiro.
That's a cue. When I start talking, you start talking. This is what we call an interview.
I see.
Okay, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Innovator. So you innovate for a lot of companies. Give us a couple of the bigger companies you've worked with.
Well, I've worked with Dell, Fidelity Investments, Staples. I mean, probably like 30 or 40 of the Fortune 100 companies I've worked with.
So just some multi-billion-dollar
little companies.
Dell,
for BP.
Well, we don't know about them right now.
They're still actually a good company.
Okay, so you're known as an innovator. You speak at some of like what they would say the leading thought leader conferences like TED and Sang, or all these CEOs come to hear you speak. And what are you talking about to them?
Well, it's always about innovation and how you get people to think more creatively, and then how you get an organization to be able to tap into that and be able to maximize it. And one of the things that I've found is that most organizations just do a really poor job of being able to really harness the creative talents they have in an organization, because they don't really understand that diversity, not the way we think about diversity, but diversity of innovation styles is really important.
So I see that you have something in your hands. It looks like a deck of cards. And that deck of cards, I'm going to zoom in with our little camera, personality poker. Now, poker's all the rage, but this isn't like the poker stars they see on TV, right?
Well, it's a little different. It's sort of like a 5-card draw version of poker. The only difference is if you look at the cards here, on the face of each of the cards, so there's numbers and suits, but there's also words that describe different innovation styles, different personality behaviors. And so what people do is when we do this with an audience, every person shows up, and I've done this with as many as 1,000 people at Disney World, and everybody gets 5 cards, and what they do is we go through this process of trading, and the whole idea is to get 5 cards where the words best describe your personality style. And based on the suits, the colors, and the numbers that you end up with in your hand will tell you all about what your strengths are, who you should partner with, what your weaknesses are.
Is humor one of the traits?
Humor is not one of the official traits in this deck, but it might be in the next deck.
How about charismatic?
Charismatic's pretty close. We have a whole
How about brilliant?
Brilliant is you. Yes, we'll give you the. Let's see. We got.
I'm just seeing if you have the traits that are my traits.
Yes. So we'll give you the. Oh, I gave away the. We'll give you the Brainiac card.
Brainiac. Oh, Ace of Spades. Okay, I'm the Brainiac. Thank you. So this sounds pretty cool. So people do this as like a tool. Now, will they do it just inside of companies, or also with individuals? Like groups get together.
Right. Well, I mean, what I find is you can either do it as a solitaire game, which is a lot of fun. You have a drink with your friends, and you get to learn about each other. But the most powerful way is when you do it with an organization, especially people who work together. Because what ends up happening is you will, within 15 minutes, every person in a room, you could have 200-300 employees playing at the same time, laughing. I mean, there's a lot of laughter and noise that goes on, and they're going to be trading cards. And what they're going to end up learning is, what each individual strong suit is, like how they play to their best.
Nice.
But what they're also going to learn is why the person you like the least is the person you need the most. And they actually begin to understand why organizationally we tend to hire on competency and chemistry, and why homogeneous teams actually work more efficiently, but in fact homogeneous teams are the antithesis of innovation. So the question is, how do you harness diverse teams, which is what I call playing with a full deck. So when we look at those two things, playing to your strong suit, playing with a full deck, and then dealing out the work based on the strengths, you can create high-performing teams.
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounded really smart.
It's really fun.
So where can groups and companies find out about personality poker and how it can benefit their companies?
Best place is personalitypoker.net. Personalitypoker.net.
And there they're going to find...
They will find, first of all, a 3-minute video. And if they see this video that we're watching, that we're recording right now, and they write me, I will actually send them a link to a 30-minute video with actually a simulation. It's a spreadsheet that simulates the poker game, and so they can sort of get a sense of it without actually playing. But of course, the card-based game is the most fun. And there's a book coming out in October being published by Penguin.
Penguin. Sounds cool, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's nice. Personalitypoker.net. So everybody go visit and find out more about yourself and your coworkers.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, thanks, Stephen.